create a new indicator block prescription, just click on the RX tab. You can select an existing prescription, or you could add in a new one using this plus button, or you can upload an existing one as well. So for this one, I don't have a script yet, but I'm going to build it within end time here. So I'm going to click the plus button. It'll ask you to select the template that you want to use. So this is essentially whatever management zone layer you want to use, or if it's maybe another variable rate script that you want to build blocks into, you could select that from here after it's uploaded. But for this, I'll just select the management zones. You can enter in the RX name. So I usually put in the field name, indicator block, RX, and then I'll tag in the year as well. Click save. All right, so now we have that prescription in here. It'll ask you what type of prescription you want to create. So you could either do a variable rate fertigation, variable rate irrigation, or a zone-based script. So for this particular grower, they're establishing their blocks with a strip till application. So I want to do a zone-based prescription. Next, it'll ask you for the fertilizer product that the grower is planning on applying for that application. I know that the grower is using a blend of 95% 32 and 5% thio. If you go down here into the prescription table, if you select these different target rates, it'll show you what parts of the field that target rate is for. So you can create zone-based variable rate scripts in here. We could essentially assign a different target rate of nitrogen to each one of these zones if we wanted to, between the dry land and the irrigated parts of the field. You could either add in the target rate of nitrogen or the product rate target rate. So in gallons per acre or pounds per acre, you could enter that in there. Or you could, like I said, you can enter in the target rate of nitrogen instead. For this grower, they're just doing a flat rate across their field for this script. So I'm going to select prescribe flat rate. It'll give you a warning saying that this prescription table will be lost if you choose to create just a flat rate script. That's okay in this case. So I'm going to select the green checkbox. All right, so this just got a lot simpler. We can assign a target rate to the irrigated part of the field and the non-irrigated part of the field. So I know that the grower is going to be applying 38 gallons to the acre of this blend for both the irrigated and non-irrigated parts. So I'll put that in there. Also copy and paste this too into the um, into the dry land part of the field. So 38 gallons to the acre of this blend equates to 130.3 pounds of nitrogen to the acre. We do have this batch fill button, so instead of me just copy and pasting the target rates in, you can click this batch fill button, put in just one target rate, and then it'll automatically populate all of the boxes for target rates. Next, we can add in our Sentinel plots. These are now our indicator blocks. We changed the name of them. So I will click Add Sentinel plots. It'll ask you for an AB line. The AB line is not required anymore, so we could place blocks without an AB line. If we're going to be doing that, I strongly suggest using big blocks. But in this case, we do have an active AB line for this field, so I will select that. You can see that it then populates on this particular field here. All right, if we didn't have an AB line, but we wanted to add one, I could click this plus button. I could add in the AB line name, and then I could either do a couple of things here. I could put in the point A and point B coordinates for the start and stop points of the AB line, or I could put in the point A coordinates and in the heading. Alternatively, you can click this upload AB line button if you already have an AB line in shapefile format. So for this particular field, we've got a swath width of 30 feet. We're going to be doing big blocks here, so I'm going to put in 3 passes per plot. So passes per plot is how many passes that the grower is going to make per each half of the Sentinel plot. So the high nitrogen plot The grower will go through there 3 times, so 30 times 3 is 90 feet. Go through, so the low nitrogen side of the plot will be 90 feet, and same with the high nitrogen side will also be 90 feet. Plot length is calculated automatically, just 3 times whatever the swath width is. For this is a little short, so I'm going to put in about 250 feet here. All right, so next I can add in the Sentinel plots. As you can see here in this drop down menu, I don't have any added to this field yet, but I can click the plus button. And then once I click that plus button, it'll automatically populate right in the center of the field there. So using the way that we typically place blocks, I'll place these in the field here. I usually like to plot up pivot boundary so I can see where the outer edge of the pivot boundary is. I'll dim that down a little bit. And I'll also put up management zones so I can see where I want to place those at. But I'll dim those down a little bit so that I can see kind of the base map there, just to make sure I'm not placing the block in a draw or maybe on a pivot road, anything like that. So I can click and drag this plot here,